Hey everybody, how are you doing today? Dr. Heldman here. Tech Talk Education and Ancient Texts Revealed are my two YouTube channels. And today I want to talk about avoiding AI errors. Don't trust AI for your research. Now, I like research. I like AI. I use AI extensively when I'm researching new video ideas. However, AI can make up facts, it can sound confident, and it can still be wrong. If you're using AI for research, you cannot afford to take it at face value. You've got to always trust and verify. And in this quick little movie, what I want to do is just give you a couple of examples of how this worked against me in a recent project that I was working on. Well, let's get started. So I was doing a movie about a passage in Scripture, Numbers chapter 25, and this is the story of Phineas and Zimri and Cosby and the relationship that they got into that wound up creating huge bunch of problems for Israel, and the Lord God came through and provided a plague that killed 24,000 people. Phineas saved the day by killing Zimri and Cosby. So I'm doing some research on this. What I like to specialize in, especially with Ancient Text Revealed, is I like to bring in other sources besides just the Bible. So I go out and look at Jewish literature. I go out and look at ancient church fathers, extra biblical literature such as the Apocrypha and Pseudepigrapha and so forth. And so I happened to come across this. So I'm doing my research. I obtained this link through research from AI. So I want you to know that. So I do research using AI. I especially like ChatGPT a great deal. I like Grok, Grok, which is Elon Musk's Grok. That is his AI. It's called x.AI is the name of the company that runs that. And then Groq I use when I want really quick and fast answers to something, and I don't need a whole big research document on everything. So what happened was the AI gave me this source, Bamidbar Rabbah 21. This comes from one of my favorite Jewish text sites. It's called sefaria.org. The word sefer means book in Hebrew. Love this place. This is really a good place where you can get a lot of consolidated Jewish literature all together so you can do some research. So I'm looking into this, and I see that we're talking about Phineas, and he goes into this tent, and he has a javelin, and he thrusts through Zimri and Cosby. They're married, they're having marital relations, but they're having marital relations in front of everybody with the tent doors open. And Phineas just grabbed a lot of zeal from the Lord and took his javelin and stuck them straight through. And he stuck them through in their genitals. So then the Jewish literature says, well, there were 12 different miracles that came out of that. Let me read these to you real quickly. The first miracle is that it is common that they would separate one from another, but an angel adhered Zimri and Cosby together. So Phineas goes in, he's got this javelin, shoves it through the both of them. They're in flagrante delicto. He shoves it through the both of them. And one of the miracles, according to this Jewish text, is that this is from a midrash, is that they were stuck together, so they weren't able to move. Another miracle is that the angel closed their mouths so that they would not yell out. The third miracle is that, I'm going to scroll up a little bit, Phineas was able to direct the spear precisely so that the male genitals of Zimri were visible in the genitals of Cosby, because they have otherwise said Phineas also went and fulfilled his needs. You should know that Phineas got into the tent by virtue of some subterfuge. He says, I need to relieve my needs. And so the tribe of Simeon let him in, and that's when he went into the tent and pushed these two through. And the reason for that was because they should not have been doing that, and it brought a great plague upon the people of Israel. So He was trying to stay clean through all this, and he said he didn't want anybody to say, well, Phineas went in and fulfilled his needs as well. So he's saying that another miracle is that the genitals of both Zimri and Cosby were visible to all the people that saw this as it was going on. The fourth is that the iron on the javelin expanded so that he could stab them both. The fifth is that the angel gave him strength in his arm to raise both of them up. So he's got this javelin. There's two bodies, what was that, a total of 300 pounds maybe, on, and he lifts them up. So the angel gave him strength to lift them up. The seventh is that Zimri and Cosby did not fall off of the spear. They stayed in their place. The eighth is that the angel raised them up in a manner of intercourse on top of the spear for all to see their disgrace. The ninth is that they did not trickle blood. The 10th, and that was so that Phineas would not become impure, because the Hebrews and the Jews are very worried about the blood. The spilling of blood is really, really something that has to be dealt with very lightly and very according to the nature of the Scriptures. The 10th is that the Holy One, blessed be he, kept their spirit alive so that he would not become impure. Who? Phineas. So that he would not become impure. So they're still alive, hanging on this stick. The 11th is that the angel raised the lintel of the house chamber so both of them could come out suspended in front of the eyes of everyone. So here's this tent, right? And, Phineas goes in there with his javelin and stabs him through, picks him up by great strength, and then as he's getting ready to take him out of the tent goes and raises up so that he can come through. And then the 12th is when all the members of his tribe were ready to strike him down, because these were people from the tribe of Simeon, and they were mad. They felt that Phineas had somehow cheated them. An angel went down and smote them before him. So those are the 12 miracles. So I go in and I ask, and specifically in this case I asked Grok. This is Groq, Grok, and the reason I like it is because it's incredibly fast. So I said, can you create me a terse bulleted list for me from the text in Sefaria.org? I just copied it in the URL, specifically an entry for Numbers 25. What I was looking for was I just wanted a quick bulleted list that I could put in a PowerPoint slide deck to show to you, my viewers. And I want a quick list, and I told it I wanted the quick list of the 12 miracles that Phineas is alleged to have received in this particular commentary. Here's the list. None of them match. His face shone like the sun. His voice was as loud as thunder. A divine voice spoke from the heavens. The Ark of the Covenant opened by itself, and so forth. You can read those on screen. None of those are correct. Those are not the 12 miracles that are spoken of here in Bamidbar. Those are not the 12 miracles. So it lied to me is what it did. And then what I did, and I was stupid for doing this, I put this into a PowerPoint slide deck, recorded the movie as though this was actually truth, and then I slept on it, and overnight something told me, and I can tell you who told me, the Holy Spirit told me, this is not true, what you said in these slides. So I got up the next morning, deleted it off of YouTube, and then changed it, altered it to show the actual miracles. Let me show you what that looks like. And here's what the actual slide looked like if I recreated it. So I went through and actually just copied it. I didn't copy this off of AI at all. I literally typed it in as I saw it on Bamidbar so that it was accurate. Now I'm embarrassed because I was trusting AI to help me out with this, and in fact AI actually lied to me and gave me this list here, which is not correct. So that's one area where I am saying trust but verify. I think it's okay that you use AI for research. I don't have an issue with that. Why? Well, because these large language models like Grok and Grok and ChatGPT all contain the corpus of human knowledge. The entirety of human knowledge is at their behest. They can research web pages, PDF documents, and so forth, and they can come up with great information. But they will lie to you. They will make things up. You can even tell them that they're lying, and they will say, oh, I'm sorry, And at one point, I told an AI 3 or 4 times that it was lying. And finally, it's just like, well, good luck with that. Go do your own research. So I'm saying do not trust. Trust, but always, always, always verify. And in the case of the Numbers 25 movie, I did not trust but verify on one of the slide decks. I did everything else, and I had to go back and recorrect it. Now, another thing I want to show you is when you're having it do art. Now, I want you to know that I think that Grok, G-R-O-K, which is Elon Musk's Grok, does a great job of drawing photorealistic images. Why do I need that? Well, we don't have any photographs, paintings, very, very little from the time and era in which I'm doing some of these movies. This was way back, this was 3,000 years ago. And so I ask it to draw pictures for me that are photorealistic, that help me give you guys an impression of how that looked and how that may have been going on. Now, I used this picture. This was an excellent picture. Let me show it to you. And it's very, very photorealistic. However, my problem with it is that sometimes when you ask it to do things, and by the way, I want to talk about this as well, it came up with what looked like African American men, and I'm totally fine with that. Mediterranean people do have, some have more darker colored skin than others. It's because they're out in the sun. I have no compunction with that at all, and I actually began to include it in my slide deck, and then, if I'm being honest with you, I thought, well, I wonder if some people will take offense at that, but that I'm trying to be racist or something based upon the argumentation that Phineas was presenting to Moses. So I decided to correct that. I had this particular photo. It looks like a photo, doesn't it? It's actually a drawing. It's an AI drawing. So I replaced it. Here's my problem. The reason I'm going down this road is because Grok, here's another one that I did of Aleister Crowley, and I thought this was very, very good. It really caught the spirit of Aleister Crowley, who was a pretty evil dude. And I think it really caught him well. But now, when you ask it to draw certain things, like here, Phineas with the javelin, is Phineas holding a javelin? He is not. Why is that javelin aimed this way and it's not in either one of his hands? I'm a little concerned about that. And Grok, G-R-O-K, has this problem with drawing cartoon characters, which I don't want. Even if I tell it I don't want a cartoon character, it draws them. So I'm very, very frustrated with the drawing tools. It doesn't matter if it's ChatGPT. Their tool is called Dolly. If I use Grok to draw things, it does a beautiful job if I want something to be photorealistic. But other times it will show me these cartoon characters, and I'll even say, can you not include cartoon characters? I want photorealism. And then sometimes when it does it, it comes up with goofy stuff like this, where he really doesn't have the javelin in his hand. I love the look of the character. This is incorrect. This is hallucination. Now here's another thing that I want to show you. I am doing a movie now for my Tech Talk Education channel on the path by which DNS, you use DNS to resolve, you have to resolve a website name to an IP address, and that always happens through DNS. Humans have to know how that works because we like to use words and computers use numbers. So they like IP addresses, which ultimately are boiled down into bits and bytes, which ultimately become rendered as electrical signals, on or off. So I told it that I wanted it to show me a hierarchical pyramid here of the key DNS players, the DNS resolver, the root servers, the top-level domain servers, and then authoritative servers, for example. And here's what it drew for me. There's nothing here. It misspells. It can't spell recursive. It can't spell resolver. I've given up on asking it to draw any text. And so I tried this in a couple of different places. I tried this with different AIs, and you basically get the same result. It really, really sucks at creating this kind of thing, which I think would be handy because I would love to have a chart that AI creates for me so that I don't have to go to all of that work. And if I'm being honest with you, if you try to create this work in Microsoft Word with their so-called smart art, and you do a pyramid like this, you're in for a half a day or a day's worth of work trying to get the pyramid to look correctly. So I thought, well, I'll just use this AI to have it build the pyramid for me, and the results are super ultra disappointing. What's my story here? Well, my story is that I use AI all the time. I really like it. I primarily use ChatGPT, but I've begun using Grok, Grok, even more. And then when I want something really quick and easy, like a definition, word definition or something like that, I'll use Groq because it's quite a bit faster for stuff like that. Then what I do is I always, with the exception of Bamidbar Rabba 20, I did not go back through and verify that because I was too lazy. That's my bad. I had to go back, redo the movie. I didn't re-record everything. I just massaged it so that it showed the correct data that I was looking to show. And then I translate that into what I'm doing. I don't think that's a big thing. I used to tell my students, schools are really uptight about AI. Like, say, oh, we don't want our kids using AI, and you have to use Turnitin and all those kinds of things. And I understand that. Kids like to cheat. They try to take the easiest way out that they can when they're working on research like this. That said, I think that we need to learn that we always trust but verify the AI. So now, especially with biblical research, when I'm doing stuff like this, I will always go and find the sources and make sure that what I'm looking at is really what the AI is telling me. And I am here to tell you that AI lies and hallucinates about certain things that it's going to tell you. So I'm telling you, do not trust it. Okay, hope this is helpful, and I will talk to you in the next video. I hope you're enjoying my videos. Please like and subscribe to my channel. You're welcome to tell others about my channel. I would love it. I'm trying to grow the channels. And also, you're welcome to comment on these things. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.